Hello and welcome to another in the series of Rock End Rock Stars. And our rock star this time is Hannah Carney. Hannah is from Schwarz, Freshwater in New South Wales. Hannah's worked in real estate since 2006 and has been part of the Schwarz team since 2011. And during that time, she has worked in all aspects of the business, but has a very strong focus on property management. And that's a good thing, because that's what we're going to talk to you about today in the show, Hannah. Hannah, welcome to Rock End Rock Stars.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for the intro.
My pleasure. It's all true, I take it.
Yes.
Good on you. Tell me a little bit about the area, Freshwater, and also a little bit about your business.
Yeah, cool. So Freshwater, Northern Beaches of Sydney, really nice area. We're in between Manly and DY. So our business focuses primarily on the Freshwater 2096 postcode, which is Freshwater, Queenscliff and Coca. We also have a lot of managements in DY, being such a densely populated area over the last couple of years with all the new recent developments. Sorry, go.
So what's the average price range of a property in Freshwater?
Well, before the market changed, so we're in a bit of a lull with our market at the moment, like most of Australia. Average price for a two-bedroom is around that $570 per week, which has been an impact on us as a business as well, because before the market changed 18 months ago, our average was 600. So, not even is it difficult for us to get to our landlords and say, look, hey, you've got to drop your prices. We've also got to factor in that we're losing money as well, because we get a percentage on the rent taken.
Yeah, it's a really interesting challenge, and I didn't have any questions down about this, but I'd like to ask you some of those challenges about how you communicate with owners when, a property they purchased maybe a couple of years ago is now worth $100,000 less than what they paid for it, which is obviously going to impact their rental return as well. Are these difficult conversations for you and the team?
They were initially, particularly at the start of the year. We were facing, telling owners that they're now got to get $100 less than what they were getting with their previous tenant. And that was a hard conversation to have. We were losing, because there was a lot of agents not being honest. So they would call another agency and get a positive outcome, not realistic. So it broke a lot of relationships. So I changed that quick smart. We started doing landlord reports, just like your weekly vendor reports that you do for sales. We do that for landlords. So they see the names and the numbers that come through the door. They also see their comments, their feedback. They get an average rent opinion based on that, along with an RP data report every single week. So that's actually led us to have more proactive conversations, as well as doing rent reviews at every single routine, regardless of what the tenancy is doing, how long they've been there. If they're mid-lease, they still get given on their routine inspection what the property would rent for today, so that when we have that conversation, they're not blindsided.
Yeah, it's a fantastic thing to hear you say that, because there must be many people who are probably still struggling with that and will continue to struggle. So thanks for sharing that with us.
No worries.
Hannah, can I just ask you then, I read somewhere, or I've heard about the Schwarz Book Club. What is that?
Well, we can't always work. So a lot of us in the office, we love to read. So what we do is we share around our books, because no one's on Kindles or iPads or anything. We're all old school books. So we just share them around the office. We discuss any new ones that are coming up, who's going to buy that, who's going to read what first, and then we just share it around. It's just a bit of fun within the office.
Yeah. What are you reading right now?
I actually am reading a book for the second time round. It's fantastic. I urge any manager to do it. It's called Oversubscribed. So that's not part of the book club because it's quite an in-depth book, but it's really great.
So what type of books do you like reading? Are these management books, or do you like fiction?
Look, I mix it up a little bit. I love getting lost in a book. Fiction is great, but then I also do read a lot of management books, and just a lot on how to promote the business, how to get more people talking about the business. That's what I'm more focused on.
Yeah, I was really keen to catch up with you because you've had a great career, and it's nowhere near finished yet. Obviously, a long way to go. But in your career, you've moved through the ranks. You've now got a very responsible role in your company, where it sees you working with both sales and property management. I said at the outset you focus on property management, but you've got experience across both. In your bio, it says that you inspire both the property management and salespeople to provide a superior level of service. I just want to talk about that because that's something we talk a lot about, but rarely get down to the nitty gritty. What have you implemented in your business to make sure that is happening?
Yeah, so my biggest thing, I'm a country girl, so I'm huge on communication. I hate emails, I hate the to and fro-ing, so I'm really big on communication. So that's something that I push to the team. I'm like, talk to people, talk to people, talk to people. But the biggest thing, everyone wanted to hide behind their paperwork. So what I did was I offshored property management admin and sales admin. So I've got 2 girls in the Philippines who are absolutely fantastic and could not survive without them. But what that's actually done is that's removed the lot of that copy paste paperwork that everyone was hiding behind, so that people now do not have excuses as to not to get on the phone. So that's something that I've implemented over the last 12 months. I started with one. I brought on my second earlier this year for sales admin, and it's great. It means that our databases just work like machines.
Yeah, which keeps your people focused on the dollar productive stuff, which, as you correctly say, is about picking the phone up and having those conversations, whether it's on Zoom or Skype or even on the phone. It doesn't matter. It's that one-on-one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I enforce in the team.
So you're obviously growing the business and it's continuing to grow. What are you focusing on, say, in the next 12 months to keep that growth going and to, in fact, grow your market share?
Yeah, so we actually rebranded in the start of March. So the 1st of March, we rebranded from an LJ Hooker office to Schwarz. So we were LJ Hooker for 20 years, loved the brand, but it was just time for us to rebrand and become an independent to give us more ability to custom tailor make our service for our clients. So for the next 12 months, my big focus is to continue to grow our brand, to get Schwarz out to the whole of the Northern Beaches. We have big growth plans for property management. So we have a full-time BDM looking to bring on another BDM. My dream would be to have 3 in 12 months' time. We also have plans for growth with sales now that we no longer have FMAs that we have to focus on. We've got growth plans for sales, which is something that we're heavily focusing on.
FMA, you mentioned, was it FMA you said there?
Yes.
What's that?
Focus market areas.
Okay. Is this under a brand, you mean?
Yeah, yes, correct.
Do you see the Schwarz brand broadening from its current base, or are there plans for you to open more offices?
Plans eventually to open more offices, but initially we just want to keep building where we are now. We're number 1 for rentals and number 3 for sales, so we want to get that up for sales, and then branch into suburbs that we haven't been able to branch into before.
Because as you branch out, particularly more so with property management than with sales, you've got the added challenge of servicing that business, so extra travel time, extra costs and so on. So is your focus for property management going to stay where you are now?
No, we actually manage property up and down the beaches, always have. We're very, very blessed to have multiple landlords. So I even look after quite a few properties for one particular client in Mossman. So we do travel a lot already. So what we do is we do portfolios around the suburbs. So for example, one manager will look after a certain area. So that means when she's traveling, she just travels to her area and vice versa. So we're not like, everyone's not going everywhere, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's a good management philosophy as well. The next question I have for you, Hannah, relates very much to what we talked about earlier, and that is in a market that's declining, where you've got pressure on your income, particularly, but also the income of your landlords, you're going to get pressure on fees. Have you found that? Do you find that? And if so, how do you fight it?
Yeah, look, for new business, there's a lot of offices out there doing, 4.4% and, like very cutthroat. And we're in the middle. We're certainly not the most expensive. We're at 6.6%. So look, we've got an advantage with property management. We are number one in the area by a long shot. Our closest competitor is less than half our market share. So given that we've got that and so much experience in the area, that certainly helps us a lot when we're debating, when we're having a conversation around fees. A lot of our current clients, it's been an education piece with them in terms of they're expecting this, they're expecting fees that we use, particularly for advertising, because advertising has changed so much. They're expecting the same advertising package that they had 7 years ago. So it's been a big education piece around that. And we have had to be very clever. We certainly don't make any money out of advertising. We still lose money, but we've had to educate landlords about how to actually attract the best tenant and how that's done.
Yeah, it's a cost of business, isn't it? And I've got to ask you, at 4.4%, do you reckon you can actually run a profitable business at that level?
No, absolutely not. So I've got a cost analysis that my BDM has. So based on the rent and the percentage as to where we actually make money. So I'm quite honest and open with my team about how much everything costs and how much it costs to run a management by the time I pay salaries and rent and electricity and all the extras that they want to do their job, and all the extras that we need to have in terms of technology. So I'm very honest with everyone. Everyone knows how much it costs us. So my BDM will make a judgment call whether it's worth having the business or not.
Yeah. So what role does technology play in your business? And I've got a bit of an insight here because given that you're using offshore outsourcing, or you're outsourcing some of your talent, I can imagine you're going to be pretty up with technology. How big a role does it play in your business?
Yeah, it's huge. I am constantly looking at better ways to improve technology. I'm absolutely... everything's cloud-based for us. Nothing is, and we try and minimize our paper trail and all the rest. So everything's electronic. So important to us because it saves us all time. So, I've just weighed up, and again, at the start, a couple of years ago when I became from that senior property manager into an office manager role, people were, trying to sell me stuff, and I was like, oh, the cost. But as soon as I sat down and worked out everyone's hourly rate, minute rate, and how much it takes to do something as opposed to technology doing it and the cost, it's a massive saving.
Certainly is. Tell me, what's the one piece of technology that you wouldn't be without?
Well, not to suck eggs, but Property Tree. I absolutely
Yep.
I absolutely love it. It's definitely, particularly for our offshoring, it's completely changed the way that we do that. The integration with REI forms, inspection manager, and then also, look, another piece of technology. I know not every office has it and not every office can afford the price, but Inspect Real Estate, that's really transformed the way we do business, the way we lease property. Our leasing consultant is almost like a lead generator in terms of calling our database, trying to find tenants and so forth.
So just the final question for you, broad-reaching question, I guess, but what do you see as the biggest challenge facing property management businesses in the next 12 to 18 months? And if you can acknowledge that, how are you preparing for it?
Yeah, look, the biggest challenge is definitely customer service. Everyone's expecting more. Everyone's expecting everything to be fixed right now. Everyone wants an answer on a Sunday. No one's willing to wait for that. So that's where I'm really, again, I've already done a lot of the background work with having the offshoring. So, and I'm already preempting the team in terms of the way that they pick up the phone, the way they do things, transforming the way that we do routine inspections so that we're not just there doing a quick photo, yeah, all good. We're actually checking on things, preempting to our owners potential upgrades that they may need to do. So it's already preempting these conversations, to being really proactive in property management for both our tenant and landlord clients. So that's a big focus for us because, you know, and I'm sure any property manager watching this will know that they'll come into work on Monday morning to 20 emails, 30 emails, 40 emails, and everyone expects an answer by 10 a.m. that morning.
That's right. If not before.
And no one is willing to wait anymore. So it's really about being able to be proactive.
Hannah, you are a rock star, so thank you very much for being with us on Rockends Rockstars. We really appreciated you giving us your time. All the best with your future, and all power to you to take that Schwarz name out and get it all over your area. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kevin.